Many people feel more secure and have a sense of comfort when they know their neighbors. But according to a Pew Research poll, 57% of Americans say they know some of their neighbors, and only 26% know most of them.
How do you take your
How
coffee?
do I take my coffee? I usually like a little cream in mine, so I think I'm going to help myself to that.
I invited Katie Kobe of neighborhood networking app Nextdoor to have a cup of coffee so we could chat about this. First, she explains why it's a good idea to get to know your neighbors.
Neighbors, I think, are probably one of the most important communities that you can actually cultivate for yourself.
Oh, I love that.
We have our families, we have our friends, but our neighbors, like, these are the people who live in such close physical proximity to you.
She says when you make those connections, you have a lifeline you can reach out to if something happens.
You leave a candle on, for instance, right? Your mom is not probably going to be the person that call and let you know about that. It's going to be your neighbor.
Next, Katie has some tips if you'd like to get to know more of your neighbors.
How would you recommend making the first move? Because it's like dating, right?
It's always helpful if it's in context, right? Like, I tend to make a ton of friends at the dog park.
Katie says to go places where you'll meet people with similar interests. And another easy option is to take a walk and wave.
Oftentimes being kind really just starts with a smile and a wave. By actually taking that moment to be like intentional and like smile and say hi, like how are you, and actually listen, sometimes that's all it takes.
Popping into that Pew Research poll again, the older you are, the easier this seems to be. 23% of people under 30 say they don't know any neighbors, compared to only 4% of people over 65. If you notice someone new moving in, that's another opportunity.
Walk over and say, hey, welcome, introduce yourself, ask them if there's anything that they need.
Or if it's easier for you to connect online, join networking sites like Nextdoor. It notifies you when someone new hops on.
We have these little virtual welcome gifts. You can actually give somebody a virtual box of cookies. Cute. Crumb-free, of course.
And you can also join a group.
One of my favorite groups in San Francisco is the gardening group. There are people who are constantly like giving away plant cuttings or asking for tips on how to manage whatever succulent is in their backyard.
Finally, what should you do if a neighbor isn't receptive?
Don't take it personally, right? You never know what is going on for someone behind the scenes. Maybe there's financial stress or they've got something going on with their family.
They could be distracted or just not paying attention.
And if they don't reflect anything back on you, you know, it's sad for them because they're probably missing out on a really cool person.
I love that. Why? I mean, won't you be my neighbor?
Yes, absolutely.
So go ahead and knock on that neighbor's door with cookies in hand. Happy neighboring is at the top of the list.